across the
And we're
grass
live.
from his parents.
Hello and welcome to the Legends of Tabletop podcast. We're getting ready to jump into another session of our Cthulhu Invictus game. This one actually named The Shadow of the Oak, which was sort of a misnomer the last time we played and was rectified in editing. But last time we played, we received a mission. There was a naval guy who thought that there was a town performing human sacrifices. We were tasked with going to check that out and solve the mystery. So we worked our way in that direction. We stopped in Londinum. But before we left, we picked up a mule named Daisy. There was a little bit of consternation about the name, as I remember, but Daisy it is. So we have our mule and wagon. We spent a day or two there, kind of relaxing, hitting the baths, doing all that fun stuff. When all of a sudden the house next door started to burn down. Malachi ran in. Macrion ran after. They apparently burned to death, which was quite upsetting. But then we found out that no, indeed, they didn't burn to death. And the whole thing was spectral in nature. So as they began to investigate that mystery, they found out that all of Londinium had been burned down before, and the city was rebuilt on top of it. And there was a unsettled spirit who was haunting the newly built house next door to our Patreon's villa. So we went in there and kind of handled that situation, set things to right. The spirit's daughter was still alive. She was ancient. She was like 90 something, right? I mean, she was super old. And
She was a great grandmother at this point.
Yeah. So the spirit was able to speak to her, and we were able to put him to rest. And I think we pretty much wrapped it there.
Yeah. Happy ending for a unhappy haunting.
We did the good thing.
Yes, you did the good thing. You put the spirit to rest peacefully without doing a violent exorcism.
Every once in a while we get him right, you know.
Nobody's dead yet.
Despite our best efforts.
It does seem that way sometimes. Okay, so we are going to say you are all setting out from Londinum, heading... Give me 1 second. I think you're heading... Where's my map? East. No, you're heading west. Towards the naval base, I believe at Isa Augusta. I'll have to check my notes for that one. And you're got your cart with your mule, pulling the cart with your supplies. You're in the mule named Daisy.
Yay.
Which you finally settled upon. And so you're traveling quite nicely outside of Londinum. These are well-maintained roads. You are heading south, the shorter of the two roads heading west. You get to the town of Kaliva. You spend a day there, resting the mule, getting out of the rain, warming up, because now it is creeping into our month would be November. I'm not sure what. I think November is still November back then. And after warming up for a day and resting, you head back out, heading north for Corinium. And
could we have spent some time there? So Macrion would like to. So he picked up some armor after watching Malachi hold his guts in.
To Calavera.
And also a spear. So if
I'm going to do this like backwards. So you're heading between the road between Calavera and Corinium. So you were saying, Macrion.
Yeah, so he wanted to. He would just say to Doreena, after they kind of pulled in, if there was, not out in the rain necessarily, but if they had a gymnasium or something like that, and be like, after we, battled the monster,
Kathshi.
the tiger.
The cat. It's Kathshi.
I don't. Yeah, I guess he probably would remember it. Yeah, the cat's sheet. So I got this spear, and he kind of like holds it out across his body. He says, I know that you maybe prefer, maybe not prefer. I'm not really. But if we could train, perhaps if you could help me with this, I think it will provide a better option than wrestling monsters that we may encounter.
I would be more than delighted to help you and train you.
What's your skill level in spear?
Base.
Base. Yeah.
Yeah.
She has javelins and a crossbow.
Oh.
I'll do my best.
You don't fight werewolves up close if you can help it.
Right. Do we just like smack at each like? Wait, no.
Yeah, the training would just be like, here's how to hold it. That's all I know.
I saw a guy do this once.
I think I'm getting the hang of it.
He was the gladiator that didn't die, so I guess he knew what he was doing. Okay, so you're about a day out. You're about a day out from Calavera, heading northwest towards the town of Corinthium.
Mm.
And you come upon a spot in the road where there's a muddy trail. It's like a side trail leading to a village right off the road. And you can kind of look down the road and you see this village sprawling out right at the fence of the forest. Everyone roll a listen.
What is that?
50 on 50.
Oh my God. 19 out of 74.
Okay, that's very good.
I got a 17 out of 25.
Okay, the air seems very still. So in the early morning mist, things tend to echo, and you can hear like a cacophony of like a chorus of screams and calls for help and pleading for mercy from the village center. You're probably about 200, maybe 400 yards away from the village center, but you see a group of people gathered, and some sprawling. So there's a few farms between here and there, and everyone roll a spot hidden.
Got it.
5.
Yeah, 15 out of 75.
Okay.
21 under 43.
As you look down and you hear the screams, suddenly you see an eagle moving, like, flying towards you through the mist. It lands on a tree. The branch is dead. The weight of the eagle snaps the branch, and the eagle then flies to a branch of another living tree, but does something very odd. He actually carries the rotted branch in his talons and when he lands on the other branch, he's holding the rotted stick and the fresh one.
A sign, perhaps.
He preens for a moment, and then it releases the dead stick and is gone, and then flies off. And yes, Macrion, that could be interpreted as a very powerful omen.
Can I roll occult?
Sure.
Oh, no, absolutely not. 87 over 55. I think that perhaps maybe no. If the eagle, no.
Anybody? Does anybody make an occult roll?
I could try. I've only got 20.
I got an 8.
No.
Wow, nice.
I don't know how it's happening.
I got an 87.
The eagle could well represent Rome.
Okay.
Rome is represented by an eagle landing upon a dead branch, having the dead branch fall, snap below them, and then carry that dead branch to a living branch is almost like Rome solving a problem. It's like Rome going from decay to something healthy and thriving.
Okay.
And the fact that this omen occurred right at the moment where you heard those calls for help, you can draw your own conclusions.
So how far away is the call? I mean, so we're hearing calls for help, and then we see this eagle fly from the same direction, or
same direction.
Okay. Oh, all right.
Yeah, I'm not
Should
really
we
sure.
go to the village? Shall we go to the village and see what's happening?
We could ask
The
them, perhaps.
village is on the path. I mean, the road that we're on goes through the village, I guess.
I think it's to the side.
We have to take a detour. Do we want to go take a look at the village?
Yeah, they may be able to interpret the omen, yes?
They're screaming for help. Not really sure if that's something they could do at this time, but I would be implied to most likely want to look and see what's going on first.
Yeah, why don't we?
Of course, yes,
I do.
Yeah. Sorry.
So you're heading down with your cart?
Macrion grabs the spear.
Yes, I imagine we're gonna have it at the cart.
Okay, you come down the road and immediately you see that it's very muddy, which is odd because it hasn't really rained that much here.
Okay.
It has rained very badly in other, but it looks like it rained a lot here. But you're not finding a lot of muddy roads. You haven't encountered a lot of muddy roads elsewhere. So as you are moving down the road, you pass your first farm, and you see piles and piles of cut grass. Like a mound, a row of a mound. It's like mounded. It's piled into a mound, but it's stretched out like long and rectangular. Mm. And for those of you with a rural background, you realize it's drying hay, but it just looks like it's been just miserably rained on. Mm. So whatever, this was probably cut when it was sunny, and then it immediately started raining, and you realize, everyone roll natural world.
I have 52 out of 65.
Yeah, 12 out of 20.
Okay, those who roll natural world realize that you see in another part of this farm there are cows. They were making hay. And the fact that it's so wet and it's not drying out means that their entire hay crop is in risk of being ruined, which means that their livestock will be facing starvation through the winter. This is a catastrophic blow for the farm. And then as you look over at the shaggy cows, see they're a little thin. One of them has like foam on the sides of its mouth. And another one of the cows you see is limping very heavily. And as he limps and moves, his tail is flashing, switching back and forth. And just like clouds of flies are coming off of one of his feet. The whole of the village, which is about a number of farms surrounding the small village center, it just there's very little smoke coming from the buildings. You pass another farm and it's in similar shape, and you come to the center of the village and you see. One second.
This seems odd. The roads outside here haven't been raining, right? I mean, this is very strange.
Yeah, you see a wheat field in very similar state but everything is just mud and plants are wilting. So these people are in desperate shape. You don't know why they'd be screaming for help, and then you come to the the center, towards the center of town. Center of town is a collection, a round square surrounding a large well, some several buildings. You see a bakery, you see a smithy, you see a mill. So you realize these are like the community buildings. And there's a group of about 20 villagers, and they're all dirty and they're wearing muddy clothes, and they look just rained on. They're all terrified because there are a group of soldiers in town, and they've got one guy like against a wall. There's another guy that's been thrown to the ground. People are. Hold on a second. He's like pleading. They seem to be asking him something. He's answering, and they don't like the answer he's given. One of the Roman soldiers shouts out some orders, and you see his men start to fan out, and like 3 of them kick in the door of a building and start forcing everyone out into the square.
That's not. They can't. Can they do that?
Okay.
I suppose they can do whatever they really want to do around here.
Okay. So do you want to go up and speak with this group of soldiers? It appears to be a squad of soldiers and 2 other figures, a Roman, clearly Roman, and a very large local with a large 2-handed spear. Herminius, you hear some of the soldiers speaking, and you realize that from the Latin accent and a few words you're catching in Aramaic, these guys are all of these soldiers are from the East. And they all appear very young. Not except for their commander, who appears to be local. All of these guys look like they're 17 and 18-year-old Syrians.
Oh,
So what would they be doing over here?
So as you approach the group, the large latent local and the Roman approaches to confront you. And welcome to the game, Curtius Fronto and Votemos of the Parisi.
what?
Salve, GB, you're muted.
Hello.
I will introduce them. These are 2 of my oldest gaming friends. I've known GB since she was a teenager. Now she's a mother of 2. They played a lot of Cthulhu Invictus with me back in the day. They are original playtesters for the Legacy of Arius Lurko. And as a surprise to all of you, you're being joined by 2 additional investigators for this the rest of this adventure.
Imagine
That's
how
awesome.
much trouble you're in. So now you have to have more people.
Yeah, for what I've got planned for you, 6 is a better number than 4.
Imagine how
I'm sure it's fine.
you have to spread that much damage out.
Okay, GB and Walter, they've just come upon the scene where it looks like the commander has one guy on the ground on the dirt. He's ordered his men to start clearing houses, and everybody's screaming for mercy, and they know that whatever answer this headman of the village is giving the soldiers are not buying it. So what you see is a motley crew, a Greek scholar, a native shepherdess, an obviously Eastern, two obvious people from the East. I think where are you from, Herminius?
I am from Dalmatian.
Okay, so
Salona.
You see 2 Eastern people, one Jewish, one Dalmatian, and they're actually coming in a donkey-drawn cart with their supplies. And as you saw them approach, you kind of intercepted them before they interfered with what the soldiers were doing. So I will leave it to you. I'm going to have a cup of tea and see how this plays out.
Does anybody which ones appear to be Roman citizens? I'm sorry. Of the 4. Oh, okay. Salve, citizen. Hello, welcome to Britannia. You seem to have come at a rather inopportune moment. Are you members of this village?
Salve, no, we were on our way further afield when we heard the commotion. Do you know what's going on here? What's happening?
I'm trying to explain it in as few words, as uncomplicatedly as possible. We encountered the resort town that we were at. We encountered a member of this village. He was worried about spirits or some kind of affliction had come to this town. And in the course of trying to get help, he had committed several crimes. I kept him from getting hanged by the Virgilis and sent him back and came back with these soldiers to attempt to help. We can't find the person that originally entreated us for help, and apparently some of the villagers, soldiers are not subtle, and we're not getting the answers we need from them. Had you encountered anything strange on your way here?
If we had but the time, we could tell you many a tale.
Oh, well, unfortunately, the soldiers are about their work. They seem very adept at it. Perhaps I don't want to get in their way, since that'll just end us up on crosses. Perhaps.
When one of the villagers hears what you're saying, Curious, a woman runs up to you, Doreena, and says, that's not what happened. That's not what happened at all. These men, no one sent for these people. There's no one by that man's name who lives at this village. It's all a big misunderstanding. Everything's fine here.
Everything's fine. We're fine. How are you?
Does she actually look fine?
Just go. Does she actually look fine?
Yeah.
No.
Just checking.
She's covered with mud. She's terrified. She's just been forced out of her home by Roman soldiers. If you want more than that, you're gonna have to roll.
I was thinking for insight reasons, but yeah, I'll roll. Yeah, I know jack shit. 78. Sorry.
I'll try a little insight on her. See if it's gonna be a 44 out of 70.
Okay, she's lying.
Yeah.
She's lying and she's terrified. She's not a good liar.
I'll walk over to her and pull out a piece of fruit, a little plum, and hand it to her.
I walk up right behind Herminius, keeping an eye on him.
There is no need to put on a front or to cover up the truth in this instance. We will help you no matter what.
She takes the fruit. Roll your charm.
That is... I do not have nearly enough luck. That's an 81 out of 60.
Oh, yeah.
I could theoretically blow 21 charm on this.
21, I don't think you want to blow 21 luck.
21 luck.
Okay. She pushes the plum away and she says, "We don't need help. We don't need help from any of you. You should all just go." And then all the villagers are like, just go. Nobody called you here. Nobody wants you here. We're fine.
I walk my gigantic.
And the soldier was like, the man we sent back here was sent with a donkey. He promised to meet us here and return return the property we sent him with. We're not leaving without talking to him, and we're certainly not leaving without the beast we lent him.
And I go stand behind the woman and I say, and besides, we lost one of our men coming here to help you. I suggest you cooperate as much as you can, and I'm going to roll my intimidation. And I rolled a 16.
She says, "Look, we didn't kill your man."
And that's under the 50%.
Right. So that's a hard success. She says, we didn't do anything to your men. We haven't hurt anyone. She says, "Look, even if he was here, he couldn't talk to you now anyway. That there's nothing you can do here except make things worse. Please just go."
It's not going to happen. We're here and we're going to solve what's going on. Spread to the empire.
I think we may be past the point of, okay, let's cut our losses and leave. The soldiers here have got their blood up.
Have we
The
talked to the
soldiers here have
soldiers?
their blood up.
Malachi?
The woman who said that the person, if there was somebody who went for help, that they're no longer here. I try to take her aside. What do you mean by that? Let's be honest here. The more honesty we have, the easier this can go. It's already not going to go well. It can get worse, so much worse. So, with the soldiers here.
Okay, roll your. I'm going to say that's not intimidate. That's persuade, because you're not threatening her. You're just telling her how it's going to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so roll your persuade. Malachi, you had something?
Have we talked to the soldiers at all?
No, you can. Curious?
I failed by 10. I'm going to use 10 luck, because I want to win. I want to get this one.
Okay.
Can I do that? I'm sorry.
Yes, you can. You can burn 10 luck to get
All
that
right.
intimidation.
I got 45 out of 35. I used 10 to bring it back down to 35.
Okay, she whispers to you and says, she says, the soldier Steel and your powerful friend can't help us. She says, it's just going to make things worse for us.
Okay.
And she says, the man who went for help is no longer here. Do you understand? He's no longer here.
I think I understand, but I am not a soldier. I'm a doctor. I'm a man of science. I understand about spirits and can possibly sacrifice to the proper God. What can perhaps I can help?
All right.
Roman logic and science perhaps can win the day here.
Okay. So let me hold there. Malachi, you wanted to ask the soldier something, and Doreena, you look like you're jumping out of your skin with a comment. So Malachi, we'll start with you.
I just wanted to see. I mean, I might not be the right person to talk to the soldiers, but I can suggest maybe to Macrion that we should see if we can understand what the soldiers are trying to do. Are they trying to apprehend this guy who was doing something illegal?
You talk to one of them guys, and they say, no, he came to Aqua Soleus screaming for help, saying that they were cursed, saying that he had to get back as quick as he can, begging us to come, and so we let him go. He promised to meet us here when we arrived, and now they're saying that no such person exists. There's something going on here. We were attacked by a pack of wolves, the savagery you've never seen.
Where did this happen?
On the road, less than a half a day from here. They killed one of our men, wounded 2 others. Had it not been for the doctor being a light sleeper, we could have all been killed.
What did the wolves look? Did they look like normal wolves?
As far as we could tell, they look like normal wolves, except wolves don't come into camps with fire and attacking armored men. Not, they were perfectly healthy. They weren't starving. There had to be some dark sorcery at work.
Indeed, which lends credence to the townspeople in that perhaps this place is cursed.
One of the soldiers is walking by with another group of villagers to herd them in. He goes, "Have you looked over the place?" All right, Doreena, to you.
I'm just not sure if I can really, because I'm not sure if I'm allowed to speak at this point. So,
well, yeah,
that's why
you're a local. Women are allowed to.
Okay, no, I wasn't sure and didn't want to jump in.
Britannia is a little different.
I know by my village it's okay, but we're getting further away from my village now, so I just didn't want to get us arrested because of my big mouth.
No,
That's
you're
all.
fine. You're fine.
Cool. I'm good.
Okay.
I kind of want to make. Would a status check help here? Be
You
like,
have to introduce yourselves.
Okay.
Where's the woman now?
She's speaking to Curious. She's trying to convince her that I guess you better come clean before the soldiers lose their temper, which is about to happen, probably.
All right. I'm slowly walking to the woman. I'm not saying anything. I'm just walking.
Okay.
I will look for the centurion or whoever looks like he's in charge.
Well, there's a guy. He's in charge. He looks romantic. He's the only one who's the only soldier who's not Syrian. He's Romantic Celtic. He's Romanized Britain. And he is kind of got the village head guy against the wall. And then he says, "Can I help you, sir?"
Yes, I am Macrion of Corinthus, a scholar by trade. Is there what happens to what is going on here? We wish to help if we can. It seems that things are getting quickly out of hand.
Well, we believe there's some dark sorcery at work. We came here to help these people. I lost one of my men on the way here. And when we get here, they deny they ever sent the man for help, and they deny to give us any information.
Yeah, perhaps they were unaware that the man left. Perhaps he was struck down. They are obviously scared. This does not seem to be the place for force. There may be other things afoot.
It seems like he says that someone's going to find out.
He says, "Scholar, come with me for a moment, would you?"
Yes, of course.
And he leads you around to the side of the cart. And he pulls back the tarp, and you see a dead 17-year-old Syrian boy in his barely used uniform with his throat torn out from wolves. They've also, eaten away most of his left hand. He says, blood has been spilt, and the time for kind words and whispers is long since past. If they're not going to help us, then they're in league with whoever already cost the life of one of my men.
Yes, but it's not the village that killed the boy. And as a member of the Legion, his life is at risk every day, is it not?
He was a trainee. This was supposed to be. You know what, Macrion? Roll persuade.
I don't have that.
Then why are you trying to talk him down?
I wanted to use it.
You guys about check your characters before you do shit.
I wanted to roll.
Herminius should be the guy doing this.
If I made my orate yesterday, he can make this roll.
Am I rolling charm? Is that what you said?
Persuade.
Oh, I got that at 40. Yeah, I got a 21 out of 40.
Okay.
I'll even spend a point to make it a hard success if that helps.
He says, I will give these people 1 day of mercy. If you think you can get them to talk to us, get me some answers. I need to know what's going on.
Yes, we will do everything within our power to bring whatever is happening here.
He takes out his tablet and he says, and you are?
Yes, I am a Macrion of Corinthus.
He writes it down on his tablet. And your company?
I am a scholar.
Your companions, sir.
Yes. Doreena, like he points, that's Doreena. She is a native to Britannia.
Doreena, roll your status.
I got a 90. I don't know what my status is, but
all right, next.
Yes, and Herminius, the large fellow over there.
Herminius, roll your status.
Tall, not large. Thank you very much.
Oh, Malachi's the big one. Yeah.
A 29 out of 35.
He goes, Herminius Rusticus of Dalmatia, the witch hunter.
Am I close enough for this, or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And I'll give kind of a low shoulder bow.
And he scratches his head and he says, so a witch hunter happens to wander into this village. Well, how did that happen? Why are you here, sir? Truth now.
We travel and investigate strange goings on at the behest of our Patronus.
Did someone send you here?
No, here we are actually working further afield from here. We have recently come from Londinium and are traveling east. We heard the commotion on the trail, and when we turned down, we saw things were in a sorry state.
And you just thought it'd be a good idea to come down?
Yes. You may not believe it, but
he shakes his head and he says, and your large friend with the club.
Oh, yes, that is Malachi. He's a former gladiator, I believe, bodyguard. He's the strong, silent type.
Yes.
Always good to have one of those. And he goes, curious, Votemos. He says, "It seems your sacrifice is paying dividends, Curious. This man's one of the most famous witch hunters in the Empire."
Aha! Pleasure to meet you, sir, Herminius.
I walk over to introduce myself.
Doreena was heading towards the woman I was talking to.
Right.
I actually, when I go to talk to the witch hunter, I actually was, dear, if you don't want to talk to me, if you feel uncomfortable talking to me, perhaps the lady here, you could perhaps tell her some of your troubles.
I said
If
thank
that
you.
would make you more comfortable.
All right. So, Doreena, how do you want to approach this woman?
Has Curtius walked further away,
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
how close are we in
I'm
earshot?
deliberately walking away to make it like,
A little easier for her to talk. Okay, cool. Thank you. I'm just gonna very calmly ask her, why can they not help you? There you go. That's how I want to say it.
Okay, make your persuade.
Ooh, fudge. I should have worded that better. Okay.
I'll give you a bonus dice because you guys have been wearing her down and she's exhausted.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen at all. It's a 90.
She says that I can't help you. There are eyes everywhere. Do you understand? If I'm seen helping you, I could be next. My family could be next. She says, I have 2 little ones. I can't help you.
I am not looking for help. I just want to make sure you're okay. And I know that you're saying you're okay, but I feel that you're not. And because we are both women, I feel that I would like to help you specifically because the last thing I want to see is a woman in peril.
All right, I'll buy it. Roll up persuade.
Fuck, I'm gonna try again. All right. Yeah, nope. I have base. That's it. Sorry.
Okay.
damn you guys.
At which point, 6 of the soldiers return with a group of leading a group. Like the first 3 come with a group of like 25 people, and they bring them into the town hall. And the next come with another group of 25 people. Basically they're clearing the village, like farm by farm, looking for this one guy that you met the other day. And when your friend, their commander Sagontiax, when he sees them come back, he kind of looks them over and asks, one second. And he says, where are this guy, where are X, Y, and Z? So apparently out of the 9 men he sent out, this 3 of them are not here.
Which way they go?
The other 3 men said that they had gone to one of the further farms to work their way back. So they were at the far end. I'm listening. Yes.
I wanted to, for Herminius, I wanted to actually specifically go and talk to him since he was just introduced to me as a witch hunter and everything.
Okay, have that conversation.
Like, greetings, sir. I'm Curtius Fronto, doctor by trade. I've had, for a man of the Virgilis to signal you out as a witch hunter, I have some amateur knowledge of the occult, of spirits and monsters. I was wondering if I could ask you to consult on this. We were given a small amount of information by the person we were looking for. Perhaps you could take that information and elaborate on it too.
Yes, of course. I shall take it and share it with my associates, and we shall do our best.
He mentioned that his village was approached by a large stag, an undead stag, rotting, appearing to be dead but still alive.
Malachi, as you guys are talking, Malachi, I want you to make a spot hidden. Continue your conversation.
The stag claimed to be a representative of the old gods and was going to curse the village if the village did not return to the worship of the old god. It had made several displays of power, and the man who came to beg us for help, said that he was basically what the woman was saying, that there were eyes everywhere and that he had to get back to his village within a certain time period. Does any of this seem like something you would be familiar with? Some kind of...
Well, this particular foreshadowing and talk of the old gods is not exactly my specialty. However, my friend, and he'll gesture across the way a little bit, my friend Macrion there is quite knowledgeable with all of this. I believe if we bring this information to him, he would be able to suss out a little bit more detail and insight into this.
Of course.
That is very interesting to hear.
And talk to your friend, dude.
Okay. All right, Malachi, you can inform everyone what I sent you in text.
Super text. Oh no.
It's much easier to pass notes around a table now.
So
it works like
I say this as much just to my party as I can, but when the mention of the undead stag was made, the villagers very clearly recoiled at that mention.
How did the woman react?
She reacted much the same way.
Now, I've drank and gotten high with these guys, so I'm like, let's go look for our boys.
Okay, so the large Briton wants to look for the 3 missing soldiers.
Macrion follows. He's got a spear.
Just don't hurt yourself with that spear there, Macrion, all right? I'm going to follow along with you just to make sure you don't hurt yourself with that spear.
Okay, so are we splitting the party? 3 are looking for the soldiers and 3 are questioning the villagers?
I'm going whichever way is the most dangerous, so I guess I'm going with Macrion.
Follow me.
Okay.
I'm going because I wanted to talk to the scholar, so...
Okay, so Doreena and Herminius, do you want to stay in town and see if you can somehow get any of these villagers to talk?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right. You pass by these farms, and you see like one depressed farm after another depressed farm. And you see one of the farms that hasn't been depopulated. You notice something very odd. There are guys in the field with pitchforks, and they are loading dried hay onto the back of a cart.
Oh, jeez.
Dried hay, but it's been raining for God knows how long.
It's been raining everywhere else except for...
Yeah. That's what it seems like. It
actually seems like it's been raining just there.
Yeah. So, like raining like a donut, and here was the center of the donut.
Yeah.
It seems that and all of their animals seem fine.
Of course they do.
So Macrion like kind of sidles up. So like I'm assuming Votemos sort of took off. Macrion kind of slid up behind, and Malachi sort of following, and he just like sidles up and says, "You both did you both notice that as well? It seems dry." Or
All right.
should we circle back around? The soldiers are the priority, of course.
Let's go. Try to see if we can what's happened over at.
Okay, GB, we'll make a luck roll.
I got it actually under half.
Okay, as you consider circling back to this farm that doesn't appear affected, you actually hear someone screaming in a language you don't understand, but you caught a few words when you were getting high with these guys. So it's one of the young soldiers, and he's coming running out of the forest.
Is anything chasing him?
You don't see anything chasing him yet. 1 second.
Uh-oh.
There they are.
all this technology, and we still can't stop dice falling onto carpets.
You're right.
2020 just can't get any worse at this point.
Damn you, God!
Like my dice vanished under my table, so I'm gonna have to hunt for it later.
Oscar, what language do the Syrian soldiers speak?
They're speaking Aramaic.
Okay, all right, good. I understand Aramaic.
He's saying it. It got Jorkant. It's right behind me. And
all right, I throw open my cloak and pull out my trusty club.
Well, I got my spear in hand, so I see somebody running. I know.
You see, rushing after him is just an enormous boar with the curved husks and the hunched back, and it's like right on his ass. And before you guys can reach him, the boar plows into him, and he just goes, ass over tea kettle. He just cartwheels in midair and sprawls out. And the thing kind of like runs through him and then skids and starts getting ready to charge him while he's down. You guys will have
to be like right in front of us at that point.
You'll have to like run to get there next round.
Oh, okay. While that boar has his back to us, I start to run towards him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Macrion, you're running. Yep. Curious?
Yes.
If they can I'm not going to run direct. I'm not going to run. I'm going to start moving up slowly, trying to cut a line towards the injured boy.
Okay.
If they track the boar, I'll try to get the boy out of there.
That sounds like
a good plan. But I'm not
plan.
going to just run right in and get run over also.
Okay, the boar doesn't pay any attention to you guys. And by the time you get there, it like just gores him in the side. And his armor takes a lot of it, but you hear ribs breaking. And then you can attack this boar.
Yeah, I can fix it.
You want us to roll for initiative?
No, it's got its back to you. It was completely focused on another target.
Okay.
09.
Oh boy.
16.
Oh
75
boy.
out of 20.
That's
like this.
Okay, Malachi
that
and those. Give me damage for those two very good hits.
Okay.
Oh wait, the 09, was that an extreme?
That's an extreme. Yeah.
Mine too.
Oh, an extreme spear and an extreme club. Okay. I guess we know who the tanks of the group are. Give me damage. Give me max damage on both of those.
Max damage on both of them would be
14.
Would be 10.
Okay. That's almost twice what you needed. So GB, you like spear it and like pin it to the ground, and Macrion just crushes its skull with the club. And you look over each other like, okay. You have that look of mutual, like, okay, you obviously know what you're doing.
Yeah, we're having barbecue tonight, is what we're doing. I think.
Okay. And Macrion doesn't hurt himself or anyone else with his newly acquired spear.
Always
GB,
nice.
you are appalled at the poor spear work of the scholar.
I'm
Yeah, the
like,
And,
person that doesn't look like he can fight
I walk
can't
over
fight.
to him
What a
and
shock.
take it off his hands
Yeah.
gently, and I'm like, let me take this before you hurt yourself.
Well, I've been practicing. Maybe the running threw me off. If I just stabbed it.
No.
Anybody that
Okay.
would fall by
Curious, you
that,
can, make a medicine roll.
glasses.
That all right. Sorry. I make that one, and also medicine and first aid. Can I? Or medicine is not
When
enough.
you roll medicine, you like roll him over. He needs the leg. His knee is dislocated.
Okay.
You can fix that maybe with a first aid check. When you roll him over and see the chest area where he was gored, you actually see the hole through the chainmail,
Right.
and you see the jagged end of the boar's tusk. The boar's tusk is broken off and is lodged between his ribs.
All right.
You realize when you remove it, the lung can collapse. He's going to need surgery to save his life.
All right.
If you try and do that here, I'm going to make you roll a penalty dice because he's in the middle of a muddy road. You can do it.
Even 2,000 years ago, I still know you can't just open someone up in mud.
So if you move him back to town and get him inside, he'll have a much better chance of surviving. But if you don't remove this in the next hour, he's dead.
All right.
Okay. Large people, please help me secure him. The Roman equivalent of let's try to secure his head, his back, and his neck.
Okay. All right. So you guys come back. Do you want to stop at that farm that everything seemed fine, or do you want to go back to the middle center of the village?
Well, we kind of got to say this
I know what I have to do. We have to help this kid.
Quick though, is there anything about the boar at all? Anything unusual besides his size?
Well, no, his size isn't unusual. They grow this big. It's just
Right.
the fact that it was relentlessly after him.
Yeah, right. I was just going to make a remark about. I was going to make a remark about that. So we have wolves attacking soldiers, despite sense otherwise normally not making them do so, and now we have a boar doing this. That seems like something is driving them to attack when they normally wouldn't.
Okay,
But I'm not
Macrion.
the scholar, so I don't know.
Right. You pick up this guy. Well, if you roll natural world, you'll learn that. You'll realize, wow, these animals around here are completely gone savage. Okay. GB, I need you to make a idea roll, which is a standard INT check.
I make it.
This is one of the three missing guys.
Oh yeah, I know. I figured. All right. So, did anybody understand when he yelled when he was running up?
He's still conscious, by the way.
Oh, he's still conscious.
that must really.
Yeah. Oh, he's in horrible pain.
I tapped him like the other guys. Are they okay?
Let me look up a list of Syrian names. So, 1 second. For those watching at home, there's a wonderful site called 20,000 Names.
If you want to get a name for Gouda for your Star Wars campaign, you can find a site with 10,000, with 100 names, 100 available names.
He says Nehor went up a tree. He said Bar. I don't know. He went down. maybe he's still alive. And he just starts, and says that in the best Latin he could, and then he just says something in Arabic, and he says, "Mithras, Lord of Light, please don't let me fucking die."
Now here, let me. I'm going to make a suggestion, and you tell me whether I can roll for this or not. Now he had that. I know that the drugs that some of the soldiers had. Does he have any of those?
No, the guy who had all the drugs was the one the wolves killed. That's why they're so pissed off.
I was hoping to get some painkillers, opium.
You have your medical bag. If you want to give him pain, you can give him some. You can give him something for the pain, at least to take the edge off. That won't drop his heart rate enough to make the surgery dangerous.
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, so you give him something for the pain, but you have no more. He has no more time. You have to get him back somewhere safe to do this surgery.
All right.
I look at the people that came with us. I'm like, can you guys get him back? And I look at Malachi, and I just like nod towards the woods.
Yeah, GB. Yeah, try to find at least another one of them. If we we lose more soldiers, I'm afraid the Virgilis will probably start crucifying.
Okay, so we have split the group into 3.
Not a good idea, bud.
Okay, so
It's still early though, so we might be okay.
You're gonna need 6 people for this. Okay, so 2 go over there, 2 go over there.
We're gonna skip ahead.
Done. 2 split over 3 groups of 2. 3 groups of 2 don't have a chance.
Doreena and Herminius, while they're gone, what's your angle? The watch captain is willing to give you some time to work on these people. He's gathered most of the villagers up, but he's getting agitated. He's even getting more agitated because now 3 more of his men have gone missing. The villagers look more and more afraid as the soldiers become more and more agitated. So this is the situation that you are operating in. How do you want to play this?
I'm looking to see if there's anyone that I would know at all that's either traded with me at some point or has ever been in my village. Just any
I'm
familiar
going to need a hard or an extreme luck roll.
What's my luck again? All right, we got a chance. This is my game.
I did specifically say the village was mostly cattle. And chickens and wheat. So there's you're a sheep girl, so no, you don't know anybody here.
I tried. All right.
Okay. And not only that, with that role, you don't even have tribal affiliation with anyone here.
Fuck.
So you have no in.
I will kind of look around and see if I can recognize, not personally, obviously, I've never really been up here, but a leader of this area, and not even necessarily not a like an authority in charge, but like the person with the real power in town, if that makes sense.
Okay, make your insight roll. You are a good judge of people. You're looking over for somebody in this mob that might have some authority to talk to, other than the guy that they're got almost tied up into a whipping post, who's came out and says, "Hey, I'm representative of the village." And
I got a 38 out of 70. Would it make sense to spend the 3 extra for a hard success?
That's up to
Go
you.
ahead.
That's up to you.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do it. I'll spend the 3.
Okay. So it's a hard success. Just give me a luck roll.
All right.
Don't worry, I'm
awesome.
working
now that
through
I just
layers
dropped
in my head.
luck, I'm gonna.
You can't burn luck on a luck roll.
50 out of 65 actually.
Okay. You actually see someone who doesn't appear afraid. She appears more angry. And you judge by her body language that she's not angry at the soldiers. She's more angry at her fellow villagers. Like, her family tries to pull her closer, and she just, like, backs away. And she stands there with her arms folded. And you see she's giving stink eye to a lot of the men in the village.
How did I not catch this woman at all?
Because you don't have the insight that Herminius does, he's a detective and you're a hunter.
So I'll casually kind of saunter on over in that direction, and as I get about halfway, I'll pull in an apple to start eating, and I'll also pull out a pear that I'll kind of like hold in the other hand, purposely pulling out like more foreign, obviously imported fruits, and I'll kind of saddle up next to her. And hold the pear out to her. Say,
she looks at the pear, looks up at you as you introduce yourself, and she says, "They say you're a witch hunter."
They would be correct.
Have you killed many witches?
I have made an enemy of a number of circles and covens.
You didn't answer my question.
And I'll look over to her with kind of like a squint. Say, yes. I have heard that these soldiers are looking for a man who does not exist.
Well, he doesn't exist anymore.
That is what I thought.
And neither does any of his family.
Oh.
And why would that be? Trust me, I am not here in league with the soldiers or with the state. I am here on personal accounts.
She says, "My name is Maridola." She says, "My name is Maridola." And you realize that she has some native clothing and some Roman clothing, and her name is half Celtic, half Roman. So she's one of these new citizens. And she says, "My family may be too cowardly to talk, and the men of this village may be too afraid to speak up. But have you ever taken an oath to the gods, sir?"
I have not.
Would you?
It depends under what circumstances.
If I help you, are you going to see this through?
I would enjoy nothing less.
Would you swear to that? I'm not going to help you just to have you run off and have my family slaughtered.
If it means that you will give us the information that we need in order to get this done and to clear this area out of any malfeasance, yes.
A guy comes over and puts an arm on her and starts dragging her back, and he says something in Brythonic, and she yells something back in Brythonic and tries to push away from her. And he says in broken Latin, he says, "My daughter is not talking to you." And one of the Roman soldiers comes and like pushes him back with like the butt of his pilum and like knocks him to the ground. And she's like, "There's no need for that." And she says, in Brythonic something back to him. Doreena, basically it's her father. It says, "You can't talk to them. You'll put us all at risk." And she says to her father, "They're the only hope we have."
Okay. I'm just gonna walk closer to can't talk today, Herminius, and probably just go into his bag and take a fucking piece of fruit because he keeps fucking waving him around.
right.
Just so I can hear what's going on a little bit better.
Okay, so she says, I can't do this in front of all of them. I'll tell you what I know. But if I'm seen talking to you, my family could be targeted. So she smiles and says, "You're going to have to hit me and drag me away."
I'll turn to Doreena.
And she starts cursing you in Brythonic and spits in your face.
I'm gonna curse back. I'm gonna try to make a somewhat of a scene, but just try to make it seem like to the Romans that I'm being aggressive with her. I am assuming most of the Romans have no fucking clue what I'm saying, and I'm just be like, "Get over here right now, blah blah blah. I want to talk to you," and kind of drag her away.
Okay, she
I
starts
would love you in Brythonic saying, "I'm gonna yell at you now. Pretend that it's really mean."
Well, everybody in the village except you guys speaks Brythonic, so
The Romans don't. I hope not.
You know what? Make a charm roll to see how believable this is, because you seem like a terrible actress.
Oh, listen, I got 30. Come on now.
Syrian. They're from like 10,000 miles away.
You do it. She happens to look like a girl who teased you growing up, and you draw on that inner rage, and you drag her away. And as you're dragging her away, to where you have no idea because you have no shelter, there's a scream from the end of the village, and Macrion the scholar comes like trotting with this Roman soldier covered in blood.
Oh.
And with Curtius Fronto running behind him, cursing at him in Latin. I said, "Hold his head up. You can't jiggle his head."
Awful job of securing his neck and spine.
So Sergontiax comes and he says, "My God, is he going to be okay? Where are the others?"
He's like, "Clear a space for me. I need to work on him immediately. My people are getting the others."
A guy comes over and he says, "Please, I am Decius Geta. Please use my bakery. I'm sorry. I'm sorry your man is hurt. Please bring him inside."
Okay, all right. Yep,
and he says, let my family go. We'll bring you water. We'll put some food on, please.
So right now, no one's leaving the village. The more you help, the more the soldiers will notice that.
Okay.
Cooperation and help are the only hope you have.
Okay, Walter, you get the boy inside. They clear a table. They give you they start boiling some water, and you've got your medicine bag. You got to make the medicine roll to save this kid's life.
All right. Let's do it. That's where all my skill points are. Let's see how badly I blow it. No, actually 31 of 85.
Okay. You remove the tusk, and you realize that this creature must have suffered terribly to gore him and then snap its own tusk off. But it didn't seem affected at all. He's unfit for duty. He will be recovering from these wounds for a couple of weeks and should probably go back to Aquasileus. But that's your opinion as a surgeon.
Yes.
And you also reset the leg with a first aid roll. So he's out of danger of dying.
Okay.
He lost a lot of blood, so he's going to be really weak for a few days. But luckily, they do have cows here, so you can put him on a liquid diet and keep him sedated.
All right.
Just no sheep.
So while you're in the bakery, that girl that you dragged away, Merdola, is willing to talk to all of you. But we're going to wait till all of you are together, so I just do that narrative once, since it's 10:30 and we have time for just one more scene.
Okay.
Meanwhile, in the forest,
The Hardy Boys are.
Malachi and Votemos, I need one of you to make a tracking roll.
Hold on, let me see where I'm at.
A hunter would have been really useful with this group.
What's my track?
Well, to be fair, I think Doreena might be the only one that we would have felt comfortable to smack around and drag out another woman. So it came in
What
helpful.
kind of Romans are you?
Yeah.
I almost made it. I need 2 points. I'm gonna burn 2 of my luck.
Okay. You burn 2 luck. You lead Malachi to a into the woods, and you find a gored up person.
So no, dead already.
I need one of you to make an extreme luck roll.
Not me.
Nope.
He's dead.
Same thing, like clearly gored by a boar.
Gored, broken bones. You know, a full-grown boar can be a very dangerous creature, especially if it surprises you, and if it's enraged. Both of you
Can I pick this guy up?
Excuse me.
Can I pick this guy up?
Yeah,
The
you can
soldier?
pick him up. I need both of you to make a listen roll.
Nope. Yeah, I make it.
I don't
53
make
out
it.
of 70 something.
You hear someone echoing through the forest, screaming for help.
Oh shit! Are they screaming in Aramaic by any chance?
Yes, they are.
In which direction? I get a sense of how far away it is.
It seems pretty far.
Oh, God.
It's deeper into the forest, away from the village.
So I tell the folks with me that I can hear that it sounds like it's certainly one of the soldiers yelling. The
Can you
last
see which
soldier.
direction he did it from?
Yeah, he can
Somewhat,
get.
but it sounds like a very far way off.
Okay, well let's go searching for him.
Okay, you come rushing in that direction. The screams get at first louder, almost as if someone's being tortured.
God.
And they're starting to get louder. And you're just like running through the forest, and I need both of you to make a sanity check.
Oh, lovely.
Made it.
Yeah, made it. 49.
As you're like running around and kind of skidding down this gully and turning into this like dry riverbed, you come face to face. You're about 30 feet away from this massive stag. And it's obviously dead, and it's been dead for some time. There are like flesh missing from its belly. Its eyes are just rotted out. They're like holes. Maggots have eaten away a lot of its face, where it's mostly skull. One antler is just like 8 magnificent points, and the other one's just like snapped halfway up. It has 3 long arrows in its side and 1 sticking out of its haunch. And it's just standing there. And I need both of you to make a sanity check.
Wait, another sanity check?
No, this is foreseeing the stag.
Okay. Oh, I don't make it. Wait, actually, maybe I missed that one.
Made it again.
I was just one. Okay, Malachi, you're going to lose 6.
Yeah, I missed about 1 point. Damn it.
Which is enough to drive you mad. I need you to roll an INT check. Tell me if you make it or fail it.
Okay, well, I have an INT of 90 for some reason, so.
Well, you're.
Oh my God! And I fucking get a 97.
No, you want to fail it.
No, that's good.
Oh, good. Okay, that's bad.
Your mind refuses to accept it. So you're going to remember this as it was just wounded.
La, 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 la.
Yeah, your mind just goes to a happy place.
Yeah.
You're going to have a very fuzzy memory of this whole thing, but you are not driven insane. GB, you take 1 point of sand loss. You fully understand what's happening, but somehow you steel yourself against the fear and the horror of it. And then it speaks.
Oh, and then it speaks.
It says, you can't save him. It's too late. But maybe you can save yourselves.
Wait, the dead boar said that?
Stag. It's a deer.
The stag.
How is what? Do I see the boy?
No, you still don't see him.
What did speak?
He's still far away. And then he goes silent. And the deer kind of looks over. And it says, nothing to save now anyway. But as I said, it's not too late to save yourselves.
Wait, so this deer is standing full, or the stag is standing fully upright,
Dead as a doornail.
animated but rotting away at the same time.
And it's talking.
Yeah, I officially definitely am in my happy place because
It's clearly a guy in a costume. Clearly,
that's a funny joke.
this is clearly a Scooby-Doo villain.
All right, GB, do you want to answer?
Cratchit.
I said, what do you mean that it's too late to save him?
He goes, like it or not, you Romans have made an offering to the old gods. That's why I'm willing to let the rest of you leave in peace.
And
Go
the
back.
the villagers didn't make an offering to the old gods?
Some have, and some will.
What old gods?
He says, the old gods, the true gods, the black gods, the gods of shadow and death and blood.
I'm gonna make a Cthulhu Mythos roll real quick.
That could be anyone.
That could be any of them.
That's like that guy with the
No, but I
face
got
and the hair.
I made my Cthulhu Mythos roll if that helps at all. But yeah, I know. I realize
the old gods could be any number of great old ones, outer gods.
Fine.
I'm like,
Going back to my
I have to be a little more specific than that. This is Rome. Lots of gods.
Tell your people they have one night to take their wounded and go. He says, I'll allow your man to remove the dead.
Why do you not want the Roman the soldiers here?
He says, you're a distraction. He says, you give them hope, and there is none. Forces are at work here, and you're in the way. This is the only courtesy I will give you.
So they're wanting to build like a highway through the village or something like that?
Something like that.
This conversation is way above the intelligence for my character.
Yeah, exactly. Is it just me and Votemos in the woods now?
Yep. And the undead stag.
Yeah, and the that thing, yes.
Your friend.
What
Where's
can
my
the
man?
village? What can the village do to not be bothered by you?
They can accept the inevitable. It would do well if you told them that.
What is the inevitable? I will tell them.
Says, they will make sacrifice and all will be well.
So only some have made sacrifice and some haven't.
It kind of like stamps its foot twice and says, "You're stalling, but it will do you no good."
What I must tell them? What is the sacrifice that you require?
They know. They've been instructed.
Those stinkers.
Tell them they must accept the inevitable. You and your people must go. He goes, if you are here by high sun tomorrow, there will be more blood and it will be on your hands. Now go.
Do I see the body of the other kid yet?
No, he's nowhere near here. Like the last screams were still far enough away, and mist has risen through the forest.
He's still screaming, the kid?
No, he's gone silent. And the thing said, there's no one to save now anyway.
He's gone.
Okay, the deer starts to turn and says, now be good little messengers and do what you're told.
All right. I'm going to grab Votemos and start herding back towards the village.
Okay.
I'll pick up the dead soldier when we get back to him and then take him back to the village.
Okay, so you can return to the village and report what you've all seen.
Yeah.
Because at this point, you've got 3 different groups of witnesses who've noticed 3 different groups of stuff.
So the thing I'll say besides what we just saw, seeing the undead stag, is that clearly it has the power to possess these wild animals and drive them to do things they wouldn't otherwise do, even beyond them suffering pain.
So I guess we're having this conversation all together.
Yes.
Yeah, we can all gather at the bakery and
When we bring the body back, I let my
The lieutenant goes, another one. He goes, and the third?
The third one is long gone. We heard him far off in the woods crying, and then his cries stopped.
I'm sure you did your best. Let me put him with his brother. And brother in arms. So the soldiers take the body. So I'll let you guys unpack your adjectives.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell everybody that obviously what I think we probably were already suspecting. Some of the people in this village obviously are playing a game, and the other people in the village are not playing the game. Whatever the sacrifice is that they need to be making. The one thing is that we've discovered is they all know about what they're supposed to do, what the sacrifice that's been asked of them. And it's only obviously the certain farm that has given that sacrifice. So perhaps we should find out from them what that sacrifice is that they gave. But everybody in this village knows about this. And that's
I'll just gesture over to what was it, Maridola?
She says the stag visited us a few days ago, and it said that if each family, if each farm gave some of its harvest to the old gods in the woods, and one person every 5 years, that the town would be spared and our crops would prosper, and it would rain when we need it. It would stop raining when we need it, and all would be well. But they demanded the life of one person from every family every 5 years.
Macrion, I was hoping that, as well as our new associate, Curtius, we were hoping that you could perhaps expound upon these old gods in this undead stag.
Yes, I'm somewhat unfamiliar with the gods of Britannia, but perhaps there is some nugget of wisdom, and he kind of knocks on his head.
Roll a Cthulhu Mythos. You now have kind of enough to maybe start to narrow it down.
Can I try as well?
Yeah.
I got a 22 over 13, but I think I'm going to spend the luck. Right? This is important.
Make a Cthulhu Mythos roll. You sure? Why don't you see if somebody else gets closer? Everybody's got Cthulhu
I'm gonna
Mythos.
try.
Someone could roll an 04. You never know.
I will.
Now,
Nope.
I don't remember my character having a lot to do with Cthulhu mythos, but he's met some odd things, such as strange things. So maybe in the conversation with my dear friend, the tall guy.
Right. Did anybody make it?
I rolled a 9.
Unless I want to burn 10 luck.
I made it.
You made it, Jimmy? You made your
A
Cthulhu
9
Mythos?
out of 15.
Okay. The fact that they refer to it as one of the old gods, a god of life and death and blood. The fact that it's controlling animals and weather and it really, and it's a god that's common to these lands. It's one of the dark, a very common dark god of these lands. And that would be Shub-Niggurath.
Oh. Oof.
Which I was going to suggest because I have encountered these creatures before.
Shub-Niggurath. All right. Oof. So I tell them that I heard from my friend who happens to be.
When you mentioned that Malachi has encountered the cult of Shub-Niggurath before.
Yeah.
Yep. I actually defeated a Dark Young once, or helped defeat a Dark Young.
But
Wow, you guys must have been a much bigger group before that.
It was when I was with the Legion,
Yeah, holy, that sounds about right. About 5,000 guys. That sounds about right.
But is that what this is? Do you believe? Does it represent itself as a stag?
It's not what I saw, but it does seem to have some affinity to the woods. I have some questions. The fellow that came from the village before and disappeared, do we know anything about him at all? Have any of us gathered any information about him?
I think we can pretty much assume he had said he needed to get back to his village before it was noticed. I think we can assume that he's probably dead. We can try to find where his farm was, but I think
says you can't miss it. It's the one with the collapsed house.
Oh, lovely.
Are their bodies still there?
No, we didn't find any bodies, and very little livestock. There was nothing left alive. But but the barn is there if you wish to use it. I think for your men and as a place to camp.
That might be a good place for us to camp, but I feel like we should look there because something occurred to me that somebody said when he went to where was it that he went to? What town was he going to get? Aquasileus. Somebody said something about him doing crimes there.
Oh, he had stolen a horse to try and reach the town faster. I had assuaged the Virgilius to allow him to leave on a loaned donkey, which is part of why the soldiers are here. They wanted to reclaim their property.
Oh, so that was the only crime that he committed, was just trying to steal a horse to travel faster.
Yeah, the horse had been returned to the owner without harm. Okay. So
I guess I was curious. Yeah, I was wondering if there was something special about him that either he was smart enough to realize was going on, or maybe he actually is some learned person, or wise in the ways.
He was a kid asking for help.
Yeah. I think he was just.
He just knew he had to get away. He just knew he had to get away to. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Too brave. Not smart enough to know he shouldn't have run, and too brave to stay there.
Right.
Meridola says that there were 15 people in his family.
Ooh.
Oh God.
That's why nobody wants to help you.
Here's a
absolutely.
I hate to ask a very, very unpleasant question, but was it a servant of the stag that did this, or was it people in the village who did the stag's well with this?
None of us harmed any of those people.
Did you see who took away the family members of the fellow who's gone now?
No, but it was a horrible sight. The house was smashed. There were
Smashed by what? What's smashed the house?
we could not tell. It was almost as if a storm had blown it down. It was so savage. There were strange footprints filled with black slime.
Oh,
How big were the footprints?
Larger than an ox. Much larger than an ox.
Are any of these footprints
Character,
still around?
that's your dark young.
Did they look like ox footprints except large, or what did they look like?
I could not tell you. The smell was so bad we dared not stay long. And then the slime evaporated within a day.
Does this remind me at all of my encounter with a dark young? Does that sound at all like?
Yep.
Okay. So I say that to the group. Well,
we have a dark young.
Roll your Cthulhu Mythos with a bonus dice because you have experience with these creatures.
oh boy. All right. 47 won't do it. 34 won't do it either. Nope.
Okay.
My Cthulhu Mythos is.
All right.
Which is just as well, since if we all knew it was a dark young, we'd all know we were dead. Now we don't. Now we think there's hope.
I definitely have a recollection that this seems to be much like the creature that I encountered before, but I don't know what that actually means.
But also, it's very unlike the creature because the creature you encountered was just a mindless animal.
Yeah.
Or it didn't act on strategy. It didn't have an agenda. It was summoned by those who had an agenda.
So the one thing that I can say that we did is the way that we defeated the one that I faced is we set it on fire.
And that will work with most things.
Yeah, that's true. Fair point. The learned scholar.
Macrion the scholar, ladies and gentlemen.
I remember that.
You need to be over here.
There was that one movie about a vampire hunter. It's like, if I drive a stake through his heart, that will prove he's a vampire and kill him. That'll kill anything.
Yeah, something about drowning witches.
My uncle was a werewolf. We shot him with a silver bullet. He died. Okay, so Gontiax comes over and he says, "A moment, gentlemen, my lady. I seek your advice."
Yes, of course.
Sure.
He says, I set out with 10 men. I have 1 missing, 2 dead, and 1 barely clinging to life. 1, no one here wants our help, and 2, I don't think I have the strength to. I don't have the men to offer the help they need. I'd like to take what's left of my unit back to Aquasileus and possibly return with more men.
This town is going to be gone this time tomorrow if we don't stay and help them.
We're gonna probably be gone by this time tomorrow.
Well,
Yep.
This sounds strange. Forgive me, Captain. This sounds strange, but I do believe that there's something going on. That I think everyone in this group can confirm that something is going on, and that the person who contacted us was correct. I think that perhaps it might be best for the town if you did leave. It might be. I think I was wrong. I don't know that I was wrong to come here, but perhaps bringing the soldiers provoked something. So I apologize for bringing you and putting your men in danger.
You warned me, and I didn't take you seriously. I thought we'd just be out for a hike for a few days, so I'm more the fool. I don't blame you, Curious.
Thank you.
I'm sorry I didn't listen to you.
I think that the town, if the soldiers leave, maybe not if we leave, but I think the town might be spared for a little while if the soldiers leave right now. As far as coming back, I think how long do we want to stay here and try to figure this out without the soldiers?
Seems we haven't much time.
I just am astonished that the soldiers would abandon a town that is essentially a Roman town.
Well, these guys he came with raw recruits. And he's lost out of 10, he's lost like 40% of his command at this point.
I think it's a tactical retreat. I just want to set a timetable for when they return with actual reinforcements.
It's gonna be too late.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a valid point. If what Walter's saying, if the soldiers make a show of leaving, it may buy you time because your opponents may think that you have left with them. So what he's asking is, how long do we want this guy to wait before he comes back with reinforcements? Like, how long do you think you need to solve this on your own?
He needs to come back right away with at least a legion or two, basically. He needs to come back with all the fellas. Maybe several trebuchet ballistas.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Whatever they got.
Aquasaleus is a resort town. He's not, even if he came back with all the forces Aquasaleus could muster, it's not going to be a lot of guys.
The problem is, I don't know if we said this, but the stag said that the village needs to make good on what has been asked of them by noon tomorrow.
No,
Asked or demanded.
no. It said if you're still here by noon tomorrow, they'll suffer.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And that the village needs to accept the inevitable and begin making sacrifices.
Right. I mean, I guess that's what I thought. Yeah.
Your memory's a little fuzzy of the whole incident.
That's true.
Ever since that guy in the deer costume showed up.
Even if we put on a show that we've left with the soldiers, like, we're dealing with a semi-omnipotent being, like,
that can drive the
really
creatures of the world.
think we left, like,
Malachi, I mean, you said fire. How many men did you have? What were the circumstances surrounding your?
So
last
I was
encounter?
much younger, and I think I probably had the same sort of thing happen. I don't quite recall it. I just remember helping some neighbors of mine defeat this monster, and eventually the only way we could drive it
you remember that the arrows and spears did very little. The axes seemed effective, and the fire finished it off.
Yeah.
And you only kind of remember 4 or 5 people dying. So about half the people who attacked it lived.
Perhaps we need to find 6 more people.
I think an immediate question that, killing a god is not on the table, but understanding why that god is now angry with this town. Why did the stag choose to come here and not Aquasaleus? Why not a village 100 miles away? Why this specific village at this time and come so aggressively, even though Rome controls all of Britannia? Why does this one village offend this god so much?
To the girl, was there a temple before here to this god that did you stop worshiping? Do you know anything? I know are you fairly new here? Do you know anything about this?
No, I was born here. She says, I don't know anything about a temple, but there's an old set of standing stones deep in the woods where, from our grandparents' time, we were told not to go there, that it was a cursed place. Most of the stones were toppled by the legions. They used to. We were told they used to be places of great power.
Is there any of the people from that were alive in those days still alive now, or they're all dead?
No, the long dead.
So let me get a little handle on this. Every 5 years, every family needs to provide a sacrifice.
A human sacrifice.
A human sacrifice. In past 5 years, it's been done. No one's had a problem.
She says, no, the stag only showed up a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's something that's happened to this town recently. Like the stag
Right,
had.
Yeah, okay.
They've requested that from now on, every 5 years, they make a sacrifice.
Oh, okay.
Did anything strange
And-
happen
and-
right before the stag showed up? Anything that can jog your memory that you think stands out?
No, she said it was a day like any other. And there's nothing special about this place.
Is there any? Have there ever been any members of the town that are particularly vehement against the Romans, that don't like the Roman gods, or even this Christ cult that started showing up?
No, nothing like that. Many of the people here are either Roman or half Roman. She says, I myself, I have Roman relatives on both my father and mother's side.
Has anyone been noticed to go up to where the standing stones were?
Not for a long, long time. You can bring that up, Herminius.
Oh, I wasn't there. That's why I'm not sure if I know about it yet or not.
Did all of you did the people who went to the forest inform everyone of everything?
Yes.
I'm assuming so.
Okay. All right, there you go.
So,
All right, so then, do you know of this this farm just a bit out from here, where the attack occurred earlier? Who was that family?
which farm?
Macrion would point when we left to go and chase after the soldiers.
She spits on the ground and she goes, "That's Teeman's farm. The head man is Teeman."
Why did you
such?
spit?
Did they make the sacrifice already?
She starts to tremble.
What can you tell us about this man?
She says they were the poorest family in the village. A lot of us took pity on them, gave them hay when their hay failed, gave them food when their times were lean. And now they're the only ones who are not affected by the rain or the rot or the lameness in their animals.
Were they a particularly large family?
They were larger. They had a daughter, a blind girl, Judith. She hasn't been seen for 3 days.
Well, that settles that.
Yes.
She says, "I can say no more. I suspect much, but I don't know for certain."
What do you suspect?
Trouble?
Excuse me, Macrion?
Have they been trouble in the past in the village?
No, they were, they weren't hated. They were, just unfortunate. They had a poor plot of land, bad luck. But no one, treated them with anything but kindness. And in all fairness, they've not acted out against us. We just fear and suspect.
Fear and
I
suspect
think
what?
justly so.
So they killed the child, the blind girl.
So she won't admit that out loud.
No, because she doesn't actually know.
Okay.
She doesn't want to accuse them of making a sacrifice to this dark god. But
Yes, I
they're
believe
they're the only farm that doesn't have rotting food, lame
Okay.
animals.
How
Yeah.
could
That
they,
family,
I believe that our friend here has said out loud what all of us are suspecting.
yeah, I mean, if she was within earshot when I said it, then she knows. But
Mm.
Okay, so it's 11. I think we've dug in pretty well. I think this is a good place to stop. We'll figure out what you guys do for the first night and how you tackle day 2 of this difficult investigation.
God,
I hope you guys enjoyed the surprise of 2 guest stars.
yeah, that was cool. Welcome.
I've always wanted to do that. I've
Thank
always
you.
wanted to have like 2 groups start the same adventure and then kind of,
So were they doing stuff separately from us prior to?
if you want to see what they did, it's actually posted on the Legends of Tabletop
YouTube page.
YouTube page as the prequel to this adventure.
Oh,
So
It's funny.
I played
When
with them
getting into
yesterday.
when getting into the YouTube chat for this session, I went into the Legends YouTube page and accidentally clicked that just because I saw Cthulhu Invictus, and I'm like, I don't know these 2 people, and I clicked on the wrong link. And got-
cheating on it.
That's John's fault. I told him not to post it until after, but
Well,
I
'cause
saw
nobody ever
nowhere.
goes
I
there.
saw absolutely nothing.
So are we all going to be in the same barn then tonight? Are we staying? Have we or are we not? Because like the only reason I ask is because I would like to watch that video, but if it has information that I shouldn't know yet, but
no, they've filled you in on everything.
we're all going to hang out, then yeah, we should.
So we can say that from here you go to the barn.
Yeah.
And this girl, I'm actually going to have her be a lot smarter. Meridoth says that she could bring like muddy fucking tunics and cloaks to cover up your stuff, so that if anybody is watching, maybe they'll just think that you're villagers. And then when the
Smart.
soldiers leave, maybe we might get lucky. And
Seems
she
like
said, I'd like to stay with you. I don't think my father's going to let me back in the house.
Okay, that's an excellent idea. Are we at the barn now, or we're
She'll
at the
lead you.
bakery?
She'll lead you to it. And again,
Um,
all of the livestock are gone. The house is just stomped flat. It's just like a muddy mess. Gates are broken, but the barn seems okay.
if I wanted to poke around, could I search and see if there's anything suspicious? I mean, other than giant hoof
Not
prints.
at this
Okay,
point.
yeah.
It's really dark, so you're not going to be able to like poke around looking for clues. You may in the morning. You may have better luck. So as you get into the farm, I need everyone to everybody roll a luck, and somebody tell me if any of you get an extreme success or a hard success.
Almost.
I rolled a 6. Yes.
That's an extreme success.
Yes. I have
22 out of 59. So
As you
hard.
come into the barn, you see that a lot of the stalls have been broken. Like something reached in here and pulled out the cows. So all of the stalls are like, there's broken wood. There's here and there. Like there were maybe 3 or 4 cows here. But because you made the extreme success, as you come into the barn, you hear whimpering, and from the back of the barn comes a dog.
Dog.
Aww.
And he kind of like limps forward, like not limps forward, but almost meekly comes forward, looking for some reassurance. What do you guys want to do?
That's you, Doreena.
I'm gonna pull out some sort of rations that I have out of my knapsack and just kind of place it in front of me to see if the dog will eat it.
He does. And your ally, give me 1 second. She says his name's Budak.
Budak.
And it means victory in Celtic.
Aw. Well, he's still alive, so that's a victory.
Hey.
And alive and unharmed, because if you would have just made a hard success, you would have found him and he would have had wounds on him.
Ah, okay.
So
No.
we'll end here with you guys bedding down in the hay in this deserted barn, with this dog and this villager Merdola, and that is session 1, full session 1, not the prequel of Shadow of the Oak.
Yay!
All right.
Nice.
Do your thing, Legends of Tabletop.
All right, cool. Yep. We want to thank everybody for checking this out. We do have coffee for sale. So if you're interested in that, there's a link in the show notes, or you can go to tinyurl.com/legendary brew. It's a nice, easy drinking medium roast. It's what I keep in my house. I'm getting close to making an order again soon. If you use the code LEGENDS10, you get 10% off your order, and shipping is always free. That also works for the other Birds of a Feather coffees as well. We have our Patreon up. If you care to support us there, that's fantastic. Even better, if you could leave us a rating or review on iTunes or whatever your podcatcher of choice is, that is extremely helpful. It gets more eyes on the podcast, and we appreciate that. We're on Instagram, Tumblr, all the things. So if you're interested, you can look us up there, and we'll catch you next time.
And